Yo, JD here. And as you can see, we are back once again. And we are back with another bit of a discussion video because it's been quite some time. Usually it's about the world of F1 Esports, whether that is cheating. But this time it's actually talking about when is F1 Esports actually going to be happening. But before we get into that, I think it's quite important to discuss a few other changes, a few other occurrences within the community, and that is the driver details. If many of you don't know, there can only be 30 drivers that are registered for the series, so with 10 teams, that is 3 drivers per team, and as a result of that, it has made some quite interesting occurrences. I think the main one being Mr. Marcel Kea, who appears to have not made the cut for Mercedes. And just looking at Marcel's races this year within PSGL, WR, if he has done them, it does seem like he has struggled with the game in terms of results. And I think this can also really be conveyed by some of his posts on social media. On the other hand, Danny Beresne, who I think was struggling in the last couple of seasons of F1 Esports, I've actually been incredibly impressed with, who seems to have a bit of a new burst of life with this game. Not to mention, him and Jarno were teammates at Alfa Romeo when Jarno won his first championship, so I think the chemistry has always been there. It does appear that Jake Benham will be the third driver of choice for Mercedes Esports in this F1 Esports series. I think this can also be confirmed looking at Marcel's Twitter bio, which doesn't have any sign of Mercedes right now, along with the Mercedes F1 Esports team's Twitter background itself doesn't actually show Marcel Kea, which you thought they probably would do if he was going to be part of the main lineup. There is a bit of a rumour going around, and again, anything I say in this video isn't 100% accurate, it could all be completely fake, but there is a rumour going around that Marcel will be placed in the Williams driver lineup along Alvaro Carreton and Ismail Fahassi. Sorry if I absolutely butchered that. Which means actually Shanika Clay doesn't make the cut, which I think is actually very unfortunate for him because I think he's been relatively quite strong in this game with his performances, and when he's been given the opportunity in F1 Esports, I actually think he is taking it quite well. But the big question is F1 Esports actually going to be happening this year? And from talking to a number of people behind the scenes or directly involved in it, I've been told that F1 Esports will be happening this year and potentially even this month, which is probably a bit perplexing for many people because there has been no announcement, there has been no communication, and you would think with an event as big as this coming up that you want to be letting as many people know as possible that it's coming up, not just a quick last minute announcement. But if we take a look at this screenshot on Twitter, which many of you can find if you just type in F1 Esports calendar, again, this can be completely legit or not, but this shows the potential calendar for F1 Esports, and you can see Esports World apparently was meant to be released last month. We've heard nothing about that. November, this month, we are meant to be having potentially rounds 1 and 2, and you can see there's actually 5 events. In the past there have always been 4 with 3 rounds each. You can see there's 2 rounds for the first 3, but then the final 2 rounds have actually 3 races within them, so it's going to be a bit of a cluster. And you can see the proposed tracks, we've got Bahrain, Silverstone, Austin and Las Vegas, Mexico City, Sao Paulo, Austria, Spielberg, the Red Bull Ring, Spa, Zandvoort, and then we have Qatar, Yas Marina and Jeddah. I think the tracks we haven't had before are obviously Qatar, Jeddah, obviously Las Vegas is going to be a new one, so a few new tracks in there, which hopefully will make some for good racing. But yeah, really in a nutshell, what do you think of this? What do you think? Do you think this is actually real? Do you think this is actually going to be happening? Because yeah, for me, it looks like with this, F1 Esports or F1 itself is just trying to maximize their viewership outside of F1. And I think it's not necessarily a bad move that they are doing this during the off season, because if they did it when the F1 season was actually on, weirdly in a way, more people maybe would not want to be watching it at the same time as F1. But please let me know what your thoughts are. with the driving changes, with the structure, and really just with the lack of advertising and communication regarding F1 Esports, because I think quite similar to Codemasters, who I've been incredibly critical of really over the last 10 years, I feel like with this audience at hand that F1 has and F1 Esports, I feel like the world of F1 Esports could really have been and still continue to be maximized so much more than it currently is. Because I feel right now it hasn't really been doing itself justice for the past few years in terms of not playing on the LAN, just the structure, just the content it produces, the racing, how the actual structure of the races are, the rules. I feel like they could be doing so much more. But please let me know what you would change in F1 Esports. What do you think of this current year's build-up, if there is going to be an F1 Esports? Make sure to check out www.coachlimits.com if you'd like a direct one-to-one coaching with me, and I will be catching you very, very soon. Peace.
GG, nice.